What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and I thought that I could show you guys a recipe that we all can do during this lockdown craziness that's going on while we all stay safe and in the house. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. You do not need a lot for this. You may have these very things in your kitchen and you can substitute it. That's why I wanted to do this during this time, during this quarantine, because you don't have to use, I'm using right there some steak strips like fajita meat or something. You do not have to use that. You can use chicken, or you can use turkey, whatever you want to use, you can use. Or if you don't want to use any meat at all, if you want to use what's that called, plant-based meat, you also can use that as well. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just cooking this on medium-high heat, and I put some olive oil down the pan, of course, and I put my meat in, and I chopped up a couple of green bell peppers, and I'm adding some couple of onions, yellow onion to be exact, into this. And I also sprinkled some garlic powder in and some chili powder. And so I'm just gonna let this cook and let the meat get done and saute, let the onions brown and things like that. Now moving right along, what I'm doing is I'm using celery. I wanted to come up with a different way to use celery because I don't really like celery, but in this recipe you don't even taste it at all. So what you're gonna do, just chop your celery however you want. It's a lot of celery because I was trying to get rid of it, to be honest. So, and this is what I mean by you can use this at any moment, in the quarantine or whatever, because I just had a random bag of celery in the refrigerator. Well, I can use that random bag of celery for this dish right here. If you don't have celery, maybe you have some zucchini in your refrigerator. Pull out some zucchini, chop it up, and you can add this in here. I'm just slicing up some more onions, you guys can see there. And I have some asparagus. I looked in my refrigerator and I had some asparagus left. And I said, well, what else can I eat with asparagus? What can I do with that? Well, I'm about to throw this all into a stir fry, and it's going to be really fulfilling. And it's not too bad on the, what's it called? It's not too bad on like the unhealthy side. It's actually a pretty healthy meal. And so I'm just chopping off like the ends of the asparagus. I don't really like those. I find those to be like the toughest. So as you guys can see right there, I'm jumping into it in my wonk, I believe this is what it's called. I am putting down a lot of olive oil, because that's going to be the main flavor in this dish. And I'm adding in my celery, onions, and asparagus. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to mix that all around, make sure that the olive oil is evenly coating all of that. So I'm going to add some garlic powder, some chili powder, some onion powder, and some paprika, something new, right? So I wanted to try some paprika on this and see how that tastes for a little spice. Adding some more olive oil. And what I noticed with the asparagus is that the asparagus, well, right there I'm adding some cilantro because I love cilantro. This is optional. Once again, I'm just using what I have in my refrigerator. If you have parsley in your refrigerator, add some parsley. Like, it really doesn't matter. Add what you have. If you don't have yellow onions, use green onions. If you don't have green onion, I'm pretty sure a purple onion may not taste that bad. So right now, I just warmed up. I had a frozen bag of vegetables and it was mixed, right? So I just warmed that up and I'm adding that into the stir fry. And I'm trying to make sure I evenly coat that bag of vegetables. I'm adding some chili powder right there. I'm trying to make sure I'm evenly coating all the vegetables with the olive oil and the seasonings, of course. And yeah, I mean, this is literally it. I believe we have one more vegetable to add. I'm cooking this for about I'm adding more olive oil because this dish really, to up the flavor, the olive oil really brings it out. So that's a little trick that you guys just saw there. I put like a top that goes on another pot. I put it on there because I wanted to steam the asparagus. My asparagus, I like asparagus soft, and they're a little bit too stiff for me to eat. So I put it on top of there to actually act as if it was steaming. And I let this all cook, and I let the asparagus really cook for steam like that for about 12 to 15 minutes because the asparagus was pretty tough. But after that, I took that top off and I went ahead and added spinach in this dish, and I added a lot of spinach. If you don't have spinach, you can add cabbage. If you don't have cabbage, you can add, maybe you have some lettuce or something, some romaine lettuce. I just use spinach. That's my go-to. That's what I had in the fridge. And I'm adding lots of spinach in there because we all know that spinach, what does that do? Like withers up or something like that. Anyway. So I'm just mixing everything together, making sure it's all evenly coated by the olive oil and the seasoning. And that's that. That is my quick little stir fry. If you don't have anything to eat, maybe you have a ton of vegetables at the house and you don't know what to do. Maybe you have chicken strips left, you don't know what to do. So basically, here is the finished meal basically. And thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.